Before we actually get into shaping the body, I want to be able to structure the perimeter so it's going to be completely straight here and from underneath. I only want to be able to see the blue of my file. I do not want to bring my file in like this. Step one, I'm going to repeat the same process on the other side. So looking down the back end here, you can see how straight the nail is. Now you can see the lower arch from underneath. The best way to do this is to make sure the file is completely parallel to her finger. What I like to do is turn her finger to the side, right, and then file in starting from the tip, and that way it ends up becoming nice and straight from the edge out to the very tip. Depending on what shape you want, square, tapered, oval, right, is going to determine on how you hold your file. If I want it dead square, I want to keep the file, as you see, completely parallel, right, to the cuticle area. I want to do the same thing with a tapered look, but all I want to do is angle the file a little bit more at an angle. Grip the finger and file. Once I have established the perimeter, I'm going to go right into my electric file. What I want to do is I want to be able to use the reverse grip. Now, you can visually see the finger from the side profile. The nice thing about using this grip as well is it gives me an opportunity to look at the side profile, and it prevents the client from looking at the finger. I'm going to set up my file, the pushers, in the form of an eye. The first thing we're going to file is the upper arch, which is going to be this. Now what I'm going to do from the cuticle area, I'm going to file in one direction towards myself, taking away some of the excess bulk all the way. Notice from the tip, through the body, through the back end of the barrel, through the tip, through the body, through the back end of the barrel, and we can establish the nice upper arch. Now, when I'm looking down the barrel of the nail, right, you can see the excess that's built up here and here. Again, behind the smile line in one direction, I want to be able to file towards myself. Notice I'm using the base of the electric file to file here, that way I don't nick her. I'm going to come all the way through in one direction so the barrel doesn't slip. And you can see by looking down the barrel of the nail, I have built a nice, even C-curve. Now, when you look up, you can see how sharp the smile line is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the cuticle in one direction, removing bulk. Once I have established my eye, all I have to do is use my barrel and come through the whole entire nail. And we're ready for file finishing with our hand file. Once we've removed the bulk of the acrylic with our electric file, we want to be able to use our hand file and our buffer to file finish. Now, general rule of thumb, if I can take my fingernail and I can rub it around the back cuticle, if it gets caught up, right, that means there's a ledge. If there's a ledge, you're going to give room for oil, water, or any kind of contaminant to promote any kind of lifting. So what we want to be able to do is use our hand file and blend it flush to the natural nail. I just have to be gentle. Remember, when I applied the product, right, I applied it flush. This is going to give you an opportunity to file it in the least amount of time. What I'm going to do is take my hand file and come around the perimeter of the nail to make sure that it's nice and flush around the perimeter, and then follow through the balance of the body. Notice how all I'm doing is balancing through. Once we have filed through the nail, you can see that I have a nice upper arch here. I have a nice C-curve from here to here. If I'm turning it this way, we're going to be able to determine where the thickness is, right, and make it even from side to side. That way it's nice and even from here to here. Now, looking at the client profile, I'm going to be able to determine whether my sides are completely even. Once we've built out the nail, I'm going to take my sponge buffer, I have a 240 here, and lightly remove the surface scratches. Not much, just gentle. Take my swipe, wipe the dust off, and we're ready for the finish application. Once we're done file finishing, I'm going to take the finish gel and apply a nice even coat from cuticle to free edge. And that's going to go inside the lamp for 2 minutes. Once it comes out of the lamp, you can actually take a dry towel just to see if the shine is there. If you rub it and the shine is there, you know it's ready to rock and roll. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my rose oil, come around the cuticle area, a little bit on the hyponychium, give it a little rub down, and voila.